States imposes visa sanctions on China for forced assimilation of Tibet children. The United States announced on Thursday that it is imposing visa sanctions on Chinese officials for their role in the forced assimilation of Tibetan children. And the sanctions are the latest in a series of measures taken by the Biden administration to pressure China over its human rights record in Tibet. The Chinese government has been accused of forcing Tibetan children to attend boarding schools, where they are taught Mandarin Chinese and are prohibited from speaking their native language, Tibetan. The Chinese government has also been accused of destroying Tibetan cultural heritage, such as monasteries and temples. These actions are seen by the United States as a violation of the human rights of Tibetans. The visa sanctions are a way for the United States to pressure the Chinese government to end these abuses. The sanctions target Chinese officials who are responsible for the implementation of policies that force Tibetan children to attend boarding schools where they are taught Mandarin Chinese and are prohibited from speaking their native language, Tibetan. The sanctions also target officials who are responsible for the destruction of Tibetan cultural heritage. The State Department said in a statement that the sanctions are a clear message that the United States will not tolerate the Chinese government's ongoing abuses of Tibetans. The statement said that the sanctions are designed to hold accountable those responsible for the Chinese government's campaign of forced assimilation in Tibet. The Chinese government has denied that it is forcing Tibetan children to attend boarding schools or that it is destroying Tibetan cultural heritage. However, human rights groups have documented extensive evidence of these abuses. The Chinese government has condemned the sanctions, calling them unwarranted and a violation of international law. However, the Biden administration has said that it is committed to using all tools at its disposal to promote human rights in China. A man who mocked Xi Jinping flees China on jet ski, rides 300 km to South Korea. A Chinese man who mocked President Xi Jinping on social media has reportedly fled the country on a jet ski. The man, who has not been identified, is said to have driven the jet ski for over 300 kilometers across the Yellow Sea to South Korea. Major traffic jam at drought-hit Panama Canal. Over 200 ships stuck. A major traffic jam has developed at the Panama Canal due to a drought that has reduced the water level in the canal. Over 200 ships are currently stuck at the canal, waiting to transit. The drought is the worst in 70 years and is causing widespread problems in Panama. The Panama Canal is a vital shipping route that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It is used by ships carrying goods all over the world. The drought has caused the water level in the canal to drop by about 2 feet. This has made it difficult for large ships to pass through the canal. The ships that are stuck at the canal are carrying a variety of goods, including oil, grain, and containers. The delay is causing problems for businesses that rely on the canal to transport their goods. The Panama Canal Authority is working to reduce the backlog of ships. They are using a variety of measures, including reducing the size of the ships that can transit the canal and increasing the number of locks that are open at the same time. Hurricane Idalia closes in on Florida with warnings of 125 mph winds. Hurricane Idalia is closing in on Florida, bringing with it the threat of 125 mph winds. The hurricane is currently a Category 3 storm and is expected to make landfall in Florida on Saturday. Millions of people in Florida have been ordered to evacuate their homes, at least 74 dead after fire tears through building used as temporary housing in South Africa. At least 74 people have been killed in a fire that tore through a building used as temporary housing in South Africa. The fire broke out early Thursday morning in a building in Johannesburg that was housing people who had been displaced by recent floods. These are just a few of the top news headlines from around the world today.
Become a subscriber and get exclusive access to our content. We're more than just a channel, we're a community. Subscribe and join us on the journey. Thanks for watching.